Welcome back to the Zero Weakness Podcast, where we talk about how to be a better lifter, how to be a better coach, and everything in between. Make sure you subscribe and enjoy.
Hello, and welcome back to the Zero Weakness Podcast. Our podcast is sponsored by the lovely people at Establishment Coffee. So if you want 25% off your order and free shipping, go to their website and use the code 025.
Nice.
Hello, gang.
Hello.
Hello.
Gotta find a quote. Sorry.
I had the perfect quote. I was telling Meg I had the perfect quote this morning, and I was like, I can't believe I haven't used this one yet, because I feel like I use it all the time, and now I forgot what it was.
You remember what you were doing when you thought of it?
No clue.
Damn.
No clue.
You need to write it down
I
when
know.
it pops up next time.
This will be perfect.
All right, who's this? Do not gain the world and lose your soul. Wisdom is better than silver and gold.
Oh, what's that? I feel like
CJ.
it's from a movie or something.
Do you know what that is?
Can you say it
Is
again,
a
please?
Do not gain the world and lose your soul. Wisdom is better than silver or gold.
Oh, that's a rap lyric.
No, but you're on the right track.
It's a lyric.
Well, I don't know if it's a lyric or if it's just one of his quotes, but it's a
Oh.
Bob Marley quote.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Uncle Bob.
That's great.
Nice. Maddie Bro will be happy with that.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Mine
Sorry. No, you go.
Mine was upon my friend Dana's suggestion. Time will pass regardless, so you may as well do the things that will make you grow as a person.
Exactly.
Nice.
It's really good.
She gave me a really bad one before, and I was like, no, give me something serious.
I want to hear the bad one.
My illness is chronic, but my tits are iconic.
Yes. Love it.
I was like, Dana, no.
That's the best.
I can get on board with that. The most valuable thing you can make is a mistake. You can't learn anything from being perfect.
I agree with that
Yes.
so much.
That's so good.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh.
Really?
No, it says Adam Osborne, but I reckon Ozzy's way cooler than whoever Adam is.
It's very applicable to training.
That's so good.
Nice.
Mine is, remember, today is the tomorrow you were worried about yesterday.
I'm pretty sure that's been done.
Maybe something along those lines.
That's a CJ quote for sure. CJ's dropped that, guaranteed. Nice. All right. What are we grateful for? James, after your dance with death.
Oh, can I say I'm grateful for my health?
Yeah, I've noticed you've had a new lease on life this week.
Do you know what's funny? It's going to be perfect timing for the podcasts. Last week we were joking about how I'm
you
going
hadn't
to the
even
hospital.
gone to the doctor yet.
Yeah, for a
last week.
pimple on my leg.
All right, so tell the full story then.
All right, so if you listen to last week's episode, does last week's episode get released
Tomorrow.
tomorrow? Okay, so you'll be hearing this late, but I had a little scratch or a cut or a insect bite on the back of my leg. I just thought it was an ingrown hair, so I didn't care. I was asking everyone, actually, Thomas, Bridget, for about a week, what do you reckon this is? I even asked Thomas to try pop it.
Yeah, you asked me to try pop it as well. No way.
And then it wasn't getting any better. And I was like, it's just ingrown hair. I went to the doctors for it on Tuesday. Didn't get any better. Woke up Wednesday. Well, actually, I had like a little bit of a fever Tuesday night. So I was like, had the cold sweats at home. I was like, this isn't right.
This is the GST coming in.
Yeah.
The first I've heard of any of this. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
me
legit,
too,
legit.
actually.
I've told, did I say, remember
No,
I was
you
cold.
never. No.
Okay, so I was cold. And I was like, I'm pretty sure it's not cold.
It was a stormy night.
Yeah. And then I woke up Wednesday morning and my leg was a little bit more sore than usual. And it had gotten significantly bigger.
Like a golf ball.
Yeah. So I said after the that's why I had to wrap up the podcast quickly because I wanted to go to the doctors. And as soon as I went to the doctor, I said, hey, the antibiotics you gave me yesterday, I think it might be worse. And he looked at it and he goes, you need to go to the hospital right now. And printed this thing out, said urgent on it. And then I went. As soon as I got there, they had one look at it and they're like, yeah, you're staying here. So I was in hospital for 4 days. I ended up having to get a surgery, like actually proper surgery in theatre. Where they put you to sleep, which was that's my first surgery.
Oh, really?
Yeah, even with all my injuries, that's
The
my
Achilles, they didn't.
Nah, because where I tore my Achilles was too close to the calf muscle.
Yeah, okay.
James, were you shaking when you woke up from the anesthesia?
Nah, because they give you warm blankets.
But did you feel cold?
Nah.
Really?
Yeah, they gave me really warm blankets, like proper that just came out of like a blanket warmer.
Uh-huh.
And yes, I had to get a operation on the back of my leg for them to clean it out. dig out the abscess, and they were just really stoked it didn't get to the muscle. They said if it got to the muscle, I would have been fucked. So that's why I had like X-rays, ultrasounds, blood tests done, and yeah, so I was in hospital for 4 days on a drip with a cannula in my arm. My arm's still really sore. I want to train, but that's the only reason I'm not training yet, because my arm's really sore from the cannula that's been in my arm for 4 days.
So for people who don't know James has a little bit of health anxiety. Would you say a little bit?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'd say max health anxiety. So like on Monday when he came in and he's like, oh, what's it? I've got this thing on the back of my leg. I'm like, this is James's health anxiety. There's nothing wrong. It's just an ingrown hair. Just pop it. The same thing on Tuesday. I'm like, bro, it's being a baby. Just pop it. Then on Wednesday, I'm like, that's not looking real great. Yeah. I support your decision to go to the doctor. Because I'm the opposite. I have the opposite of health anxiety where I'm like, I'll probably sort itself out. And so I'm glad you went to the hospital because it was a lot more than a pimple.
It was so funny though. It was just all unbelievable how it unfolded.
Yeah.
That's why I kept putting it in the group chat. I was like, wait, I'm in hospital for I'm staying in here. And you guys are like, what the fuck? And it sounded so unbelievable that I'm getting a surgery.
Yeah, I mean, I still haven't received the doctor's certificate. So. Like for all I know, the dressing is just like mayonnaise and ketchup and mustard to give that like yellowy white pus tinge.
It's funny because they're like, do you need a doctor's certificate? And I was like, oh, no, I'll be sweet. And they're like, do you work full time? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, you'll probably need one. I'm like, nah, it's all good.
It's not a real job. It's not one of those deals.
But yeah, so it's just all unfolded very fortunately and unfortunately.
I think I've said it on the podcast before. As a boss, I just can't imagine be like, call you on Friday, hey bro, the surgery went all right anyway. Can you just get them to email me a medical certificate, please? Like, just in case you're not actually in hospital. Just in case you found a pair of scrubs to take a video of your ass naked on Instagram on the old private story.
I had my headphones, those memes where they got the headphones in their nose.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was funny because what was I about to say? I lost my train of thought.
What was Geordie's message about you being
gone too soon?
Gone too soon.
But it was funny because Bridget brought me my laptop and I was like, oh, sweet, because I'm bored. I'm going to actually try to do some work. But because the cannula in my arm, have you ever had one?
Yeah.
So you bend your arm the slightest and the machine goes fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so every time, I couldn't even be on my phone. I was like this.
Oh.
So every time they come and be like, you need to keep your arm straight. Like, you can't have it bent. And I'd be asleep and my arm would bend and the machine would start going nuts. They come in and
Annoying.
Annoying. Yeah, so I couldn't even do anything. I was just watching bulk YouTube the whole time I was in there.
Nice. Anything good?
Nah, I watched some documentaries on Gaza, Israel, and then I watched about 10 hours of jiu-jitsu a day.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, so that's my story. I'm grateful for my health.
All right.
I'm back.
Meg, what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for you.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I feel like I can do anything with you by my side.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's a good one.
That's my grateful.
Nice. Thank you. Grateful for you too.
Very good.
Gidge.
I'm grateful for the holidays.
What about me?
Of course I'm grateful for you. No, I'm just really excited. I think I've got like 9 days off coming up. And like, even though I love coming into this job, it's still really exciting to have 9 days off. I don't even know what I'm going to do.
If you love it, you should come in then.
I am. I'm going to come in and train and hang out with everyone.
There's a lot of bragging about this 9 days.
No, I think it's like, because that's the longest time I've had off in a while. So, yeah.
Maybe I'll take 9 days off paying you. No, that's good. Good.
Yeah, no, really
Enjoy your
excited for the
time
holiday.
off.
Thanks, Thomas.
What am I grateful for? I hadn't really thought about it this week. Jeepers. I'll say something later. I'll tell you what I'm not grateful for. Can I do that first?
Yeah.
So, being the kind-hearted person that I am, yesterday, Meg said, I'm feeling like this kind of ice cream or this kind of ice cream. I thought, great. I'll swing by the server on the way home, get a little surprise, a nice little ice cream, and I'll get both of them. Make it extra special. Ice creams are $6 from the servos these days. Did you people know this?
Ben and Jerry's is like $15 for less than half a litre now.
I used to be like, I get inflation's real, but come on, it's not that hard. Then I can't even afford to put fuel in my car anymore. People are doing it tough.
It's a stitch up. The only time I buy things from the servo now is because I budget $80 a week for fuel. So if it costs $72,
You got $8 budget.
yeah.
That's the spirit.
Mm.
No, but I mean, that's my naivety because I never ever buy anything from a servo. Ever. Like it's Coles through and through.
Well, can you remember when you were a kid, like a Magnum was the most expensive ice cream and it was $2?
Yeah.
Was a Magnum $2?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was
No,
$2.
it was not.
Yeah.
I used to get 600ml Cokes from the dairy in New Zealand for $2. That was the price.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like $4.50.
More than
For
that,
a
isn't it?
Magnum, it's more than that.
Is it more than that for a
Yeah.
Magnum?
Yeah,
It's like $6.
But you can buy boxes of them
I know.
for like what, $9?
$10.
There's
Yeah.
actually a hack, Utopia from Aldi.
Yeah,
Utopia
that's
from
so
4-pack
yummy.
for $5.
Mm-hmm.
Just as good as Magnum. Like,
Suspicious.
you got to have like the Aldi mindset though. Like,
I was gonna say there's a special there's a special key you need to unlock that because some Aldi diehards think everything's better from Aldi.
It's not.
There's definitely some things that are good, if not better, but it's definitely not everything.
nah.
It's not everything.
Have you guys tried the new Ben & Jerry's, the Benoff Pie one?
No.
It's probably the best ice cream I've ever had.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, no, it actually is.
It's unbelievable.
What's your favorite Ben & Jerry's?
that one now?
flavor?
But before that,
yeah.
fish food.
nah,
okay.
mine's the
Or the peanut butter one.
what's the Jimmy Fallon one?
Oh yeah, the
Uh,
Tonight Dough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine is tiramisu.
Oh,
I don't think I've had that one.
That
yet.
one is good.
Yeah.
Mine's-
Try the Benoff Pie one and let me know what you think.
Okay.
I gotta find it.
Yeah, we do.
PB over the top is my
Yeah, that's in my
go-to.
top 3.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the
Very
best.
decadent.
So yummy.
I got into this habit 2 years ago of making hot chocolates on ice cream exclusively because I had no milk in the house. I'm like, I really want a hot chocolate. I'm like, I got ice cream. It's basically frozen milk. So I just made this hot chocolate on ice cream. I'm like, this is really good. And then I just started getting more and more decadent ice cream. So it was Ben & Jerry's, and it went from like a scoop to a whole tub. and it's like 1,200 calories. So it was like be like this 1,200 calorie hot chocolate. And I can't sip drinks. I have to like scull them. So I'd consume 1,200 calories of liquid ice cream in like 2 minutes. Just sit on the couch feeling so sick. Can't wait for winter.
That actually sounds delicious.
It is. It is amazing. I'm going to say I'm grateful for my job. I'm grateful for my job. I'm grateful for the patience that's led to this point, which has given me the job that I want.
Fucking A.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. It's someone asked in my Q&A overnight, like, how do I stay motivated? I don't stay motivated. I do what I want to do. And most of what I want to do is work. And so I've created a job for myself where I want to work. And I think that's pretty special. So I'm grateful for that.
Absolutely.
Me and Bridget always talk about this, but you're a very easy person to work hard for. Because as far as we're concerned, you're still the hardest worker that we know.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, I fake it a lot, but thanks.
I was about to say, but don't expect anything more from me. I'm maxed out. All right. Got a few topics here. The first one I want to talk about it just got me thinking in the weekend, getting my blood work done. Should everyone get blood work done?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Oh, that was a quick yes. Why so fast?
It's not directly in line with blood work, but I got a MRI recently and incidentally found something, and I just thought, I mean, what are the chances of them finding this thing? But I'm in the place. So just getting it regularly, I think, is good, just to keep all your is the phrase files in order?
Yeah. I go in like once a year.
Ducks in a row?
Ducks in
Yeah.
a row. Just in case, even if you're in great health. Why not? We check our weight, we check measurements. Like, is it not a really, really good way to gauge our health?
Absolutely.
And we have access to it. Some people don't. So yeah.
So, all right. So you're looking at it through like the lens of health. What about for performance? Tombo, do you see any merit in getting your blood work done for performance?
I'm not going to say no, and I'm not going to say no for health either. I don't think it's 100% necessary. Like, I don't think you need to go and do it once a year if you're otherwise healthy. The risk with more data is reading into the data. And even with blood work is still a snapshot at that point in time when the blood was drawn. And it's not necessarily an accurate representation of the average. And so if you really want to have a good oversight of what your blood work is doing, you need to get it more routinely, whether it's sort of like once a quarter, every 3 months, to get a baseline average from which you can make decisions of. Because if you just see an odd reading, it's easy to put too much, give that too much attention. Like if something's out of range, those ranges are based on a normal healthy average. For people who are performing, for example, certain aspects of those ranges, we don't want to be in a normal range. We might want to have super physiological levels of certain things, or we want to be on the upper end of a range or a lower end of a range. And so it's easy to read into things and be like, that's not normal, and not know anything about what you're comparing it to. And so the other thing is like if you're getting a doctor to read your blood work, which you should be getting someone who knows what they're talking about to read your blood work, if they don't know what the goal is, then maybe their interpretation of it would be misguided. Where I would say it is extremely important is for anyone using performance-enhancing drugs. Absolutely, you should be getting your blood work done regularly because you need to know how you're responding to things. You need to know if the things that you're taking are real. You need to make sure that genetically certain markers aren't getting out of control, whether it be iron or cholesterol, or yada, 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 yada. You need to have a clear handle of that because you are messing with things outside your physiology. If you're otherwise healthy, though, I don't think it's super necessary. But if you're doing it, I wouldn't discourage you from doing it.
What are some key things that to look out for? Because obviously, like when I get my blood work done, I don't know what I'm looking at. The doctor goes, oh, this. I'm like, okay, sweet. How can I fix that? Whatever. But what are you looking for if you are taking performance-enhancing drugs?
I'm not an expert on that, so I can't go that deep into it. I've been exposed to that sort of a language and that sort of teaching a lot. But if someone's asking me to read their blood panels, I'm normally saying go talk to someone who knows stuff better, for sure. But in general, like PEDs or not, what you'd be looking for are general health markers, because you shouldn't be looking at it for short-term performance. You should be looking at it for long-term health more than anything. So making sure cholesterol's not getting out of control, keeping an eye on vitamin D levels, iron levels, general hormone levels, all of that sort of stuff is going to be helpful. Not even helpful, but not a bad practice.
It's funny because one of my clients, he's an older gentleman, and he his testosterone was at 6. So that's pretty low in the grand scheme of things, isn't it?
Not for an old guy, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
So
depending on how old this person is.
62 years old.
No. I mean, like above sort of 40, 50, 60 years old, that's what leads to aging in males. Like all the stuff that comes with males is centered around a decline in testosterone.
Yeah.
That's why anti-aging clinics are testosterone and human growth hormone.
Yeah, right. Because that's when he said it to me, because obviously I don't have a great understanding of blood work and how these things work. But when he said it to me, I go, isn't that low? And he just said, I feel fine. I'm like, oh, well, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
to an extent. Yeah.
And that's the risk, though. It's like, oh, my test is low, or this is low, or that's high. And then all of a sudden, now I feel bad. Just like you hurt your back, you get a scan, I've got a bulging disc. There's nothing to say that wasn't there before you hurt your back. All you know for sure is you've got pain. And same thing. It's like all you know for sure is you feel good or you feel bad. The blood work, I mean, again, it's not a bad practice. It's not bad to have data. The question you always have to ask is, what am I doing with this data? And people who get blood work regularly, if they don't know how to read it and they're not working with a doctor that's sort of in line with their performance goals, they might just be wasting their time.
I was watching a Zach Tallender. You know Zach Tallender?
No.
He works with he's an Olympic weightlifter and he's on YouTube. And I was watching a video of him and Derek from More Plates, More Dates.
Oh yeah.
And there was this guy that gets accused of being on gear, but he claims to be natural. So he went and got his blood work done to prove that he was natural. And it came back, nothing out of the ordinary that showed that he was drug-free or performance-enhancing drug-free. But it came back with his cholesterol being dangerously high.
What, blood work, not like a drug test?
Nah, blood work.
Yeah, so a blood work might give it away straight away. Like normally it'd be obvious. Then the cholesterol might be hereditary, or it might be a side effect of taking drugs.
But it's funny because it was like a life-saving. He went and got this done to prove he wasn't on steroids.
Oh, and then
And
he found
out he had high cholesterol.
Yeah, so it was like oh wow, like he was just lucky that he got that done and got on top of his cholesterol straight away.
That's kind of what I was getting at. Like maybe just to be cautious. but not reading into like, oh, my range is low, therefore that's why I'm tired or something.
Yeah.
You know?
What are the dangers of high cholesterol? This, like, obviously it's got something to do with your heart, and your heart stops pumping blood, or it stops blood being able to circulate properly.
Yeah, so like the it's not like dietary cholesterol, it's the little package that cholesterol floats around in your blood in. So HDL is what's called the good cholesterol, which is kind of like picking up deposits. LDL is called the bad cholesterol, and it's kind of like dropping these fatty deposits off. And when your LDL is elevated, there's a higher chance of like plaque building up in your arteries. If that plaque becomes dislodged and gets stuck in your heart, you have a heart attack. If it becomes dislodged and gets stuck in your brain, you have a stroke. So it's around heart attack and stroke. But it's not a standalone thing. Like, so it's kind of like you're stacking up for and against. So having a higher range cholesterol is against you in terms of like heart disease, stroke, that kind of thing. But being active, eating an otherwise healthy diet, sleeping well, training, not smoking, not drinking, all stacks up against that. And so, again, these things are good to take stock of, but there's a lot of moving parts that goes into long-term health and chronic disease and that kind of thing. And that's not to say if you've got high cholesterol, ignore it because you're walking around the block once a day. But don't pretend to be an expert based on one little blood reading.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you just said, like, yeah, it might pay to get your blood work done, but if you're living a relatively healthy life, you're getting enough sleep or trying to, eating well, exercising, you're pretty good for the most part.
Yeah.
It's not health advice, by the way. Don't listen to me.
Yeah, but what, just to say it once more, like, if you are getting it, don't feel bad about it. Like, go for it. Absolutely. But I don't think it's an absolutely necessary thing to be doing.
All right. I've got a few topics here. They're all a little bit random, but the next one is ways to improve your squat depth.
Probably find out what the perfect foot stance is for you, is what I would say for somebody who might be struggling to hit depth and they squat regularly.
Mm-hmm.
Are you limited by pain or just struggling to squat deep?
Yeah, let's cover it all. What do you guys think?
For a lot of people, it's maybe fear-based when it gets
Definitely
heavier.
a confidence thing.
Yeah, most people can hit depth without issues until you start to load weight on the bar. And then if it is the case of they've got the barbell on them and they struggle, then maybe they need to adjust some things with their stance.
Or more importantly, why do you need to squat deeper?
If you're competing.
In powerlifting?
Yeah.
Yes, we've got standards. We've got a standard that we need to hit. That's in the rules for a good lift in competition. What, you need to get your hip crease below the top of the knee? Is that the rule? That's the
top surface of the leg at the hip.
Top surface. Oh,
no such thing as a hip crease.
Okay, so say it again.
Top surface of the leg at the hip.
At the hip. Okay.
At the hip.
All right. So, so ways to improve your squat depth. There's lots of little easy hacks. You know, you can talk about elevating your heels. That's an easy one. But then again, it's a case to case dependent. I'm just thinking of someone, one of my clients who was asking, how can I squat deeper? And I was just thinking, once it gets heavier, that's when you struggle. And it's fear-based. It's a fear-based thing. Because on the pendulum, she's fine. On a lighter loaded squat, she's fine. A front squat, she's fine. A goblet squat, she's fine. As soon as anything gets above 60%, then she starts freaking out a little bit and starts cutting all her squats really high.
So I'm going to buck the trend here and disagree with you all. I don't think it's got anything to do with fear. So what I mean by that is, like, think about you guys. When you go heavy, you might be scared, you might be nervous, you might be intimidated. But when you're squatting, you're never like halfway down and think, I just better stop here and come back up. Like, anyone who says, I just cut the depth on that one. No, you didn't. Your body did that for you. Shut up. You did not choose to cut the depth on that one. Your body said, this is about it, come back up. And so, like, what we're trying to develop with technique is unconscious competence. So we do the thing without thinking about it. It just happens by itself. That's why we do rep work. That's why we do practice. That's why we do tempo. And so for these people who go heavier and heavier and squat higher and higher, all it says is that, like, their capacity to maintain a particular aspect of technique just lets go above a certain percentage.
Yeah, because they're afraid.
No, most of the time it's to do with bracing or hip control. And so you can crutch that by elevating the heel.
Because they're afraid. They're afraid of white lights.
Say what you really want to say. You just want to say they're a little bitch.
Ugh, 3 white
I
lights.
think people consciously do stop shorter. I think they're capable of doing that.
No.
I know I've done it.
No, I disagree. Bear in mind we're talking about different people, and I'm not discounting the fear factor being a thing, but I don't think anyone consciously cuts squats. I think it's more to do with above a certain percentage, you lose your ability to hold certain positions, and then depth suffers as a result. So like your next point on that list is why squatting deeper isn't necessarily the answer, is exactly that. So we're taking CJ to a comp. He's starting to squat higher and higher above, say, 80%. We go back down to like 65% work. We're doing sets of 8. We're just go as deep as you can. All he's going to do is change his position. He's just going to fold his hips under. He's going to like cave his knees in. He's going to fold his back over because he can do that when it's 65%. He's not going to be able to maintain that above a certain level. And so people just squat deeper with not so great technique and then get back to that percentage and can't do that anymore. Because of fear, and then they start squatting higher again.
It's but yeah, we spoke about it maybe a couple of episodes ago where people are chasing these excessive ranges of motion.
Yeah,
where they're trying to squat excessively deep and they're obsessed with the ass to grass thing. And look, it's kind of come back right around again.
Yeah,
but when I see people that's squatting ass to grass, like you just spoke about, they've squatted really deep, but it looks horrible.
Yeah, you see the pelvis tuck under.
Their upper back's round, and it's like, yeah, you went through full range or an excessive range of motion, but what are you achieving by that other than saying you squatted really deep?
Sorry, you go.
No, you go.
I do feel bad for people who perhaps have to do that for it from the naked eye to look like it's depth, like someone with bigger legs perhaps, or where it can be really hit or miss with whether their depth is depth, so they have to make it more obvious.
Someone I look at who looks like he's squatting over, like he's really trying to hit depth, is Bronco from Nauru. Well, like when you see his squat, what do you think? Because I'm like, man, he moves really well for a really big guy.
He does.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 5'2" and 180 kilos.
He's a unit.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got interesting mechanics for sure.
He's got good technique.
He's just a monster.
I just love his cackle on the way.
I was just going to say that.
With like 350 kilos on the back.
You could do the voice for like one of the roller coasters at Movie World.
Baby wet. So good. So good. Yeah, like ultimately depth is going to come back to just controlling what we teach as the 3 rules of squats at Zero. And my belief, like even coming back to what you were saying before, James, in terms of like why do you need to hit depth? Forget powerlifting for a second. If those 3 rules are in place, if someone's bracing properly, they've got their hips doing what they're meant to do and their upper back set in the way that it's meant to be set and everything's locked in, most people should be able to, without any other like structural issues, ankle issues, hip issues, whatever, most people should squat about an inch or 2 below depth comfortably. So if people are squatting high, it normally just speaks to one of those things being missing.
Yeah, no one intentionally goes, I'm going to squat, like you said. Unless they're scared. But yeah, no one intentionally squats high.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, most of the time, squat depth is affected by brace, letting go of the pelvis, and then as a result, the body having to move in a particular way, which limits their ability to get their hip low.
It's the number one thing in comp that we see
red lights for.
Get red lights for.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's my experience.
No, definitely.
Depending who's reffing.
Bridget, you're not going to see any white lights. And Dana. Dana's a very good ref.
Yeah. Strict. No, sorry. Strict is the wrong word. To the standard.
All right.
Nice. Wait, just on this, just for everyone listening, there's no such thing as borderline. Stop saying the word borderline. You either hit depth or you're high. That's it. And people are like, oh, yeah, it was borderline. It wasn't borderline. It was to depth or it was not.
No, it's to depth or you're scared.
To the
Exactly.
naked, you get like 3 seconds to make that call. Sometimes it's hard.
Less than 3 seconds.
Less
Yeah,
than.
especially when they just
You
drop
know?
straight out.
Yeah.
That's confidence as a ref. More
Yeah.
practice.
Well, that's why I love the first squats, because you can get a gauge of what kind of squatter the person is.
Mm.
If I know they're going to be fast, I'm like, oh, I got to really look on the second and third.
Mm.
All right. Next question. Why? Actually, no. Simple and effective hacks to keeping on track with your goals during the festive season. Start with training. What are you guys doing differently? Are you guys doing anything differently training wise?
I'm
No.
not going to do anything differently. I'm still going to try and come in on the same days around the same time and just keep my routine as much as I can.
Nice.
Mm.
Shorter sessions? Nah.
No.
What about you guys?
I'll just be training as normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's very different for us because we don't have very normal lives.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the gym. It's easier for us to train if we choose to train. I think the moniker that everyone should sort of take with them is that doing something is better than doing nothing.
The moniker.
In terms of like the thing that people should listen to is doing something is better than doing nothing. So if you want to keep training momentum up and not feel like you've taken a step backwards or lost a couple of weeks, even if you just come in and do 1 or 2 full body sessions over that 2 week sort of I went to say another weird word. That 2 week scramble that is Christmas and holiday seasons. I was going to say chutzpah.
Are you saying Monica from Friends? Like that's the thing we should be listening to?
No.
Oh.
You can listen to Monica from Friends. She's really annoying.
What?
She's the most annoying out of all of them.
All right.
Who's your least favorite?
Side
then?
question. Who do you align the most with in Friends then?
Chandler.
You're Chandler.
No, I like him. He's my favorite character.
No, who do you line the most with?
Monica.
Phoebe.
Ross. Dinosaurs.
What's Matthew Perry's name?
Chandler.
Yeah, Chandler.
You're definitely a Chandler.
I was going to say I align
Don't
with
go.
Matthew Perry.
Don't go swimming this afternoon, please.
Thomas.
What? Is it too soon?
Yes, it's
Apparently,
always
they
just-
released the official cause of death.
What was it?
He had ketamine in his system. He took ketamine and then he passed out and he drowned.
Went into K-hole. in the
Yeah.
pool.
Oh.
Yeah.
Drowned in a K-hole.
Mm-hmm.
Poor bloke.
It's really upsetting.
Mm-hmm.
You can bang your head or you can drown in a K-hole.
I think that there are two audiences we need to speak to, because what you're saying, Thomas, makes a lot of sense. And I think that zero members, let's just say that, or people who train similarly to us can appreciate, if I take it easy
Sure.
and I lose a couple of days, nothing's going to happen. But there's also an audience of people who are a little bit newer to training, who are going to feel immense guilt for not training or not staying on track with their food, thinking that 2 weeks will completely derail their progress, which is
won't.
Don't worry
just
about
not
it.
true.
Yeah, have a
It's
break.
Christmas
Enjoy
time.
it.
Enjoy yourself. Yeah. Exactly.
You've enjoyed all these Christmases before you. You're not dead, unless you're
Yeah.
Matthew Perry. So just, I sincerely apologize for anyone affected by Matthew Perry. I mean, you can, just enjoy it. Absolutely. I agree. 100%.
For me personally, if I do something, that's a win. Like, oh, sweet, I got a little 30-minute workout in. I've done something. Like, I feel good. It's just trying to keep that normality during that period. Because when you stray too far away from routine, like, that's when you start overthinking things, and when you start coming up with stupid ideas that you've lost all your gains, whatever you want to call it, during that period. But just enjoy yourself.
But you don't need to do anything to stay on track, because if you've been on track all year long, it's really not going to make a difference. I don't really like content like that. Like, you had to be mindful during Christmas and stuff.
Yeah.
And training's always going to be there. You can always come back to it at any point.
Yeah, it's a good point. Like that kind of content inherently makes people think that they have to be mindful.
Yeah.
Especially the ones that on Christmas Day, here's how to control your eating. No, don't. That's
It's
the
just-
point of Christmas.
It
Eat whatever you want.
Deepens the contrast, and people think Christmas is a big, big thing. It doesn't have to be.
Well, then, go.
No, I was just going to say, no, you go.
No, because I think you're going to say what you're going to say.
No, it's about content, like shitty content like that. It just reminds me of all these Instagram influencers, like what I do on my rest day. and they'll like still go for like a 5 kilometer recovery run. Do you know what I mean? And they're still doing all this absolute nonsense. And then I saw another piece of content. It's like what pro athletes actually do on rest days, and it's got them playing video games, sleeping, eating.
Well, there's nothing wrong with either, is there? If you want to do it, like if you want to go for the run, fine.
Yeah.
But it's what making people feel bad if they're not doing that, which I think segues into the next thing, right? The morning routine.
Well, hang on, wait. I want to know what everyone's thoughts are on people posting their stuff on Christmas Day. I still made it to the gym to do my deadlifts.
So cringe. It's so cringe.
Do you know what's funny?
You're not better than anybody.
I enjoy cringy fitness content. They're not trying to be cringy. Like, they're dead serious, and I enjoy it. I'm like, damn, this sucks. It's so good. Like, I love that stuff.
Hashtag no rest days.
Yeah.
I'm happy for it for training, but not for eating.
Oh my God. I just saw the funniest David Goggins like parody video. I need to show you guys after. It's perfect for this.
Nice.
Speaking of David Goggins, you saw that ACJ? How he's in Tony Ferguson's corner in the weekend? He cornered a UFC fighter in the weekend. It was so funny. It's like, what's he going to say to him? Stay hard. Like, what's he going to say? Yeah, like he was in his corner for the fight. And normally in your corner, you have like, you know, your coaches. Yeah. You'll have like your wrestling coach, your jiu-jitsu coach, your head coach, or your striking coach, or depending who you're fighting, you'll have someone that can talk you through a game plan against, you know, an opponent. But he had David Goggins.
Mental psyche.
Yeah, but how far? Like, I feel like if you're already a professional fighter, like you've done combat sports your whole life, the last thing you need to do is stay hard. Like, there's a reason why. I don't know. I thought it was funny.
I wonder how good he is at that sort of job, like being a motivator. Like, is he actually good at it, or is it just like the celebrity status?
Well, I don't know. It kind of even it gave me the chills a little bit seeing him there. And then he got into the ring and was talking to him for the last round. I'm like, that's pretty cool. It's even if his high level coaches like David get in there.
Because like you can love or hate David Goggins as the persona, but you can't deny he has a level of mental toughness and fortitude that's above most people on the planet. Like, he's done some ridiculous stuff.
Yeah. Well, actually, the fighter that he cornered is the first person that's ever completed Hell Week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, David Goggins' Hell Week.
Yeah, nice.
The first person that it's ever...
What does Hell Week involve?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. We can look it up after the podcast.
Hell Week in the SEALs is like, I think it's like 4 weeks in. I think it's a 6-week program, and it's maybe week 4 or something like that. And it's the one where they have to like carry the boats and line the ocean. It's just like...
Yeah, I've seen bits of that.
They're already messed up and they mess them up further. I might actually be wrong on that.
No, it is something like that. I've just seen footage of them sitting in the water, like linked arms.
Freezing, yeah.
Water splashing. Like, they're pretty much drowning.
They got to go nuts to butt. That's what they say.
Nuts to butt.
Yeah. Like, they got to cuddle up because it's freezing cold. Hell Week is the defining event of Bud's training. It's held early on in the 3rd week, the first phase. What exactly happens? The boat crew carrying their boat, timed exercises, runs, crawling through mud flats. Just all the nasty stuff that you know makes up Bud's training.
Speaking of other funny people cornering, Tenacious D cornered another fighter.
Like, as in the Tenacious D.
Yes. Yes.
And it was hilarious.
What's Jack Black in it? Come on!
It was so funny seeing them so serious, though.
Yeah, they were.
Like, walking out with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, who's a legend of the sport. Tenacious D.
It'd be like...
Because he walked out to one of their songs, didn't he?
Yeah. And it's funny because they have to wear the UFC issued like coaches and fighters uniform. So seeing Tenacious D in like the UFC guy,
I saw a photo of it. I was wondering what that was. I can just imagine Jack Black being like, just imagine AC/DC, bam, you know, he's always like singing.
So good.
What a legend.
All right. What about? Okay, so we've established that nutrition over the festive season doesn't fucking matter. Unless you're doing a bodybuilding competition in January, then it probably matters a little bit. But I think most of our listeners aren't doing a bodybuilding comp in January.
I just want to say one more thing. Don't feel guilty about wanting to not engage in meals too. Like, that's all right as well. If you're planning to, like, I don't know, stay on track and prepare food. That's
if you want
okay.
to train and stay on track and keep doing your normal thing, do that too.
That's
Basically, do whatever you want to do. And don't feel bad about it.
I don't want to exclude anyone. Just do whatever feels right.
You know, you just remind me. You know Reece Kingsford?
Yeah.
At our comp, he's in really good shape. Like, he's fucking ripped. At one of our comps, he was eating, I don't know, it looked like dog shit, but he enjoys it. And then this other, like bodybuilding coach who was in the warm up area goes to him. He's like, "Why don't you just eat white bread? Like, you can just have a sandwich." And Reece is like, "I didn't want a sandwich." And he's like, he was like making he was like demonizing the foods that he was eating, that he chose himself.
Yeah.
And it was so funny. I was like, Reece's response was so good. He's like, "I didn't want a sandwich. I wanted this."
Not everybody likes white bread. Wholemeal's the ultimate bread.
Yeah.
But I was like, bro, you're projecting your own insecurities about food onto someone else that doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Baguette.
Yep. No, of course I know Reece Kingsford. He's opening Zero Sunshine Coast. What?
Let's go.
I really hope I announce it between now and then. 'Cause that's the plan. But if I
So I was
don't,
about to say, is that the announcement? Is that how you're announcing?
no, I'll make a post.
Reece
but
and Chloe.
by the time you hear this, it'll be public that Reece and Chloe are opening Zero on the Sunshine Coast. They currently have a gym up there called Strength City, so they're rebranding and then reinventing the entire gym. So a complete clean out. They have a gym existing, but will be replacing everything and turning it into a fully fledged Zero. It's in Caloundra on the Sunshine Coast, and you can sort of expect that March, April at this stage is probably when it's going to happen. So keep an eye out for that. If you haven't heard about it already, which if you listen to this, you probably follow us and you would have seen it. But yeah, it's coming.
That's exciting.
Super exciting. Really stoked to have Reece and Chloe on board. They've been Zero people for a long time. They did the coach development, or Reece did. Reece coached under me for a while, then coached under you for a while. He's currently doing his own thing, but they're Zero through and through. They use all of our teachings, and they've got a really cool gym and community up there. They come and support our comps. It's gonna be great.
He's just the coolest guy.
Really, really, really good people.
Yeah. And like I said before, he's jacked.
Yeah. Actually, man, we should be talking about that. We went up to the Sunshine Coast on the weekend, bumped into Reece and Chloe, but Theo.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Theo Maddox, Zero lifter, attempted to pull the biggest ever deadlift done, 506, and missed it. But he did get 477.5, which is the biggest ever deadlift in Australia, which is wild. Absolutely wild. At 21 years old. Yes, it was in straps. It was a competition, Sunshine Coast biggest deadlift, and they allowed straps and hitching and everything. It was a perfectly clean deadlift. No one's going to argue with the range of motion. No one's going to play the fingertips card. It was a great deadlift, but it was in straps, so it's not an official powerlifting deadlift. However, the 500, 501, none of them were done without straps, so that's what we were going for. We were never planning on doing it. The plan was to win the comp, which we needed 430 to win, so we won that. And then the plan was to aim for around 480 maybe. And then I quickly looked up Mitchell Hooper, who had the 475, and we're like, well, we should beat that. So we went 477, and I thought that would be it. Because he'd pulled 470 in the gym, beltless, the week before. Because we didn't train for this. Like, he's just in the middle of, like, technique blocks. And he pulled that 470 without a belt, and it was hard. And so I was like, 477, might get it, might miss it. And it was so easy.
It's hard to comprehend.
Yeah.
Me and Josh Dawson were in the gym yesterday, and we're both just screaming at each other. Like, we both, like, we're watching and like, that's fucking unbelievable.
Crazy.
At how easy he did it as well.
Crazy.
He deadlifts double what I can deadlift.
That's
I've pulled
insane.
240. And and like to the standard person, they think I'm strong.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, you deadlifted 240. I'm like, this guy deadlifted 480. Like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Imagine if he walked into someone, because he's quite big and strong, and they're like, oh, what do you deadlift? And if he said 480, they'd be like, all right, you're full of shit.
Yeah, it's like when you say you squat 300, and they're like, yeah, leg press.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he actually picked up 477 off the floor with ease. Yeah, and so like when you're there and it moves like that, you're like, well, you could do 490 and get it, or you could go 500. It's special, like saying that out loud is just walking to the table and saying 500. It's just like, what?
500.
What? And so we were going to do 500. Then I'm like, if we're here, we may as well. So I said, let's go 503 because I thought the record was 502.5. But I don't know if you've seen that sumo guy online that pulled 505 really badly, like not locked out, dropped it, all this sort of stuff. So we're like, well, we better try to pull that. So we went 506.
Who are some deadlifters that have pulled above 460? Like Jamal Browner, Dan Griggs?
Very few, yeah.
Is that it? Eddie Hall?
Very few. Eddie Hall, Thor. Then there's a couple of strongmen like Mitchell Hooper. There's a few more of them out there. Powerlifting, the biggest is Dan Griggs with 467.5. So Theo will take that soon enough.
Yeah, wow.
If Colton doesn't first.
Crazy.
One of them will. Oh, well, Dan Griggs might as well.
Is Dan Griggs coming to Australia? Did I see that somewhere?
Yeah, I was actually we were voice noting the other day, going back and forth. I'm trying to get him over here to hang out. So hopefully we can get him out here. It just depends what his plans are while he's here.
That'd be sick.
Yeah. I was about to ask something else to everyone. Ooh, can't remember.
Like I said before, this is a little bit all over the show. We'll do one more topic. Why morning routines aren't always beneficial?
Because you get too reliant on them, and then if you mess up your routine, it can throw you off for the whole day.
Yeah.
But I'm not the person to ask. I'm so far out of a morning routine at the moment. It's not funny. I have no morning routine.
Well, I'll ask the person who I think probably has the most consistent morning routine. It's probably you, Thomas. What do you do? Well, what do you actually do in the morning?
Even my routine's been thrown off since we moved down here. But it's pretty much back set in. I'm waking up pretty early at the morning, at the moment, like 4 or 4:30, something like that. I get up, I walk the dog for a while, come home, wake Meg up, have a coffee, normally have some breakfast, start work. Yeah, it's pretty standard though.
Mm-hmm.
I think morning routines are a waste of time if they're someone else's routine.
Mm-hmm.
You listen to some motivational nonsense and you're like, oh, I got to make the bed because it shows discipline. No, it's just a waste of time. If you don't like making the bed, you don't want to make the bed, don't make the bed. Who cares?
Yeah, so that's where I was looking at it from, because I went down the route of, when there was a point in my life where everything was chaos. I was like, all right, sweet, I need to do something for myself. So I started doing this morning routine and just made my mornings more stressful.
Yeah.
Like adding in 10 different things that I don't need to do, but I thought it was helping me.
Yeah, stressful meditation. It's like, I got to meditate, I got to focus, but I'm running late. The best morning routine is the one that you come up with naturally and you don't have to force. I think it's important to get rid of like toxic habits or wastes of time or things that don't serve you that well. But things that can be someone else's waste of time might serve you really well. You know, if the only time you get to sort of sit and do nothing and look at your phone and doom scroll is in the morning and that helps zone your brain out and get ready for a day, that's great. If it distracts you to the point where you're not doing anything productive and you need to, or it's making you late or screwing you up, then it's bad. It's like so individual.
Yeah, I can't leave my house in the morning unless it's clean, and then sometimes that makes me late and that stresses me out. But I can't leave unless it's clean.
Yeah, but you're a clean freak.
I'm not a clean freak. I'm
Yes,
just
you are.
tidy.
No.
I'm just tidy.
Clean freak.
Different. No.
What do you guys... So, Tom, bro, let's say you sleep in. Do you sleep in? Nah.
Very rarely.
So what happens? Do you just... Everything just gets pushed back if you do sleep in?
Yeah, maybe, or just skip something. It's like you automatically prioritize what needs to be done. Like there's certain non-negotiables, but most of the time it's just like make the things happen that need to happen. But again, I have a unrealistic lifestyle compared to most people. I can do whatever I want. I'm within reason, you know. I have a choice. I don't have many people to answer directly to. So there's no consequences for me if I come here. If I don't have any standing appointments, if I come here at 9 or 9:30, there's no consequences for me. And so it's just like you make it happen. And so if you do have stuff that you have to answer to, we all have to answer to something. Let's just shuffle things around. Don't stress about it.
So if it helps your life, if it enhances the quality of your life, and it sets you off to a good day, have a morning routine. And if it doesn't, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
if you don't, it doesn't matter.
I'm a bit. It's very much like it's analogous to rolling So foam rolling and rehab work before training. It's easy to just keep adding like one thing that's just 2 minutes. One more thing that's 5 minutes. And before you know it, you've got this 1 hour pre-training routine that you have to do. Otherwise you can't train well. It's all in your head. And it's so easy. Oh, no. I have to make the bed. I have to sit down and do 10 minutes of meditation. I have to read 10 pages of a book. You don't have to do anything of that. You choose to do it. And you should choose the things that serve you best.
Because I'm
so funny.
I was just imagining saying, I have to brush my teeth, or like something that someone might skip that's actually quite true.
Yeah. I have to put my seatbelt on.
It's just funny because like I remember I make my bed most mornings. Some mornings I might not, whatever. But like I remember when I saw that, like when you make your bed in the morning, you've already won. And it's so funny to think about it. It's like you make your bed and you're like, fuck yeah, I've won. It's like, congratulations, you won nothing. You won an imaginary prize you gave yourself.
I don't know. I'm a clean sleeper. Like the equivalent of, for me to make my bed, all I have to do is flip over a thing. If I share a bed with someone who's not a clean sleeper, different story.
I do. So I'm the same. I don't, I just sleep. I fold the blanket down and that's it. So when I get up, all I got to do is fold it back over. Like Poots uses the blanket. Bridget will use the blanket or whatever. But yeah, like I don't know. This is weird, but I air my bed out. My granny used to do it, so I do it as well.
Like this? Like
No. So like
fold it.
I fold it halfway and I leave it like that. And then I like might make my bed later on.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's weird.
Yeah. But I haven't seen anyone else do it. My granny just used to do it, so me and my brother do it.
I'm a prep the bed before I get into it kind of guy.
Yeah.
I don't care about making it when I get out. It's like you ever see those funny reels that are like what your parents think is going to happen when someone's come over? Like they open the door and they like sprint to the cupboard and they're like, what the fuck is this? Why is it so dusty in here? Like checking under the bed and being like, why is stuff done? It's like no one's going to come into our room and look at the bed.
I love those reels.
It's so good.
That's my mum to a T.
It's everyone's mum.
She gets mad when I show up and surprise them because she hasn't had a chance to dust the spare room.
It was funny because I didn't tell my mum about my surgery, and me and my brother were joking because my mum would have been like, "So why are you in hospital? And are you saving for a house?" Like, it would just go completely left. She'd just go automatically back into Filipino mum mode.
Yes.
All right, Bridget, have you got some questions for us?
I do. Let me have a look. I got some Christmas would you rathers.
Go on.
All right. Let me find them. Okay. Would you rather have to loudly sing the chorus of Jingle Bells every time you walk into a room, or have to wear a Santa suit to work every day?
Queensland, I wouldn't wear a Santa suit to work every day.
Jingle bells, easily.
Yeah.
Jingle Bells. Every room, though. So once you leave this room, you got to sing Jingle Bells when you get out there.
Just become a recluse. Stay indoors all the time.
I'm tempted to do that anyway.
I'd sing it like that little British kid on I need to show you guys. Have you guys seen that? That little
He's
British
real
kid?
cute.
And he's like, what does he say?
Oh,
he doesn't even say the
he
words.
messes all the words up.
It's so
doesn't even know
good.
the words. All right. Would you rather have ears like an elf or have a Santa beard forever?
Santa beard.
Elf
beard,
ears.
for
Elf.
sure.
Elf ears. I would pay to have elf ears now.
But you like elf ears.
Yes, I do. Elf ears are cute.
You just want to feel like you're in Lord of the Rings.
Exactly.
Speaking of ears, what are you guys' thoughts on cauliflower ears?
They just look painful.
What do you mean thoughts on them?
He wants cauliflower ears.
Like, I can't wait for the day.
Yeah, because you know our mindset is when we're at a comp and someone shows up with cauliflower ears,
They're
we're like, bro, look at that guy. Don't mess with him.
Because we've done that. We've done that.
We have. Is that his girlfriend competing? Don't look at her. Don't talk to her. Don't make eye contact. If she gives an attempt, say no. I have a girlfriend.
So I think they look cool. So I
just
want
think
them.
they look painful. I think you like the idea of it, but you wouldn't be able to wear headphones. You wouldn't be able to sleep on them properly. Like, what if they're really sore?
Because whenever someone at the gym gets them,
I love how you just completely dodged all those questions. Like, anyway.
because whenever someone at the gym starts getting them, I'm always like, yeah, fuck yeah. And they're like, what do you mean, fuck yeah? And they're draining them, got their ear covers on. I don't know. I think it's cool.
I think if you had them, you have to have like the neck to match.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Big
nah.
thick neck.
No bueno.
Yeah.
Thick neck, cauliflower ears, absolutely.
I can't wait. One day.
One day. Neck machine.
All right, we'll do a couple more. Would you rather be bald or have tinsel for hair?
Bald.
Balls.
Bald.
Yeah,
We're a
definitely.
Who the fuck would rather have tinsel for hair? Sorry,
Maybe
bald
some-
people
maybe
might.
some girls, maybe.
Did you make these up or get them off a real bad website?
No, every website was bad. I could hardly find any good Christmas ones. All right, last one. Would you rather only have dessert on the holidays or never have dessert ever again? So, to clarify, like you can't eat anything else except dessert on the holidays.
That's light work. I'd rather that.
What's the holidays?
Christmas.
Like
say
Christmas
Christmas.
Day or
No, we'll say like, over the Christmas period, like Christmas Eve to like
never
New
have
Year.
dessert?
Or never have dessert ever again.
I'll have dessert.
Yeah, you'll just eat nothing but dessert on the holidays?
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Never dessert.
You would never have it ever again?
No. Happy to skip.
Wow.
Yeah. The savory guy.
What? Never skip dessert.
All right, that's all I got.
Amazing. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Have a
Bye.
happy new year by the time you hear this, maybe. And hope your Christmas was great. See ya.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the ZeroW Podcast. If you want more information, head to our Instagram, ZeroW_weakness. Hit the link in the bio for all of our services and any information on upcoming workshops and events. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star review so we can have a broader reach and answer more people's questions. Thank you once more.